Hi, it's Nell. Are you a fan of plants with patterned foliage? Well, if you are, and if you're also a fan of house plants that are easy care, stick around, because today I'm going to be talking all about Agalonema, or Ags, or Chinese Evergreens. I'm going to be talking about care and growing tips for this fabulous plant. Well, these plants are the epitome of fabulous foliage. They have so many different patterns, and now these days there's a lot of newer varieties. Back when I was in the interior scaping field, there might have been 4 or 5 varieties that we used, but we used them a lot, especially on file cabinets, credenzas. They were underplantings for larger plants, but they just handled offices so well, the environment there, so you know if they can do well in office environments, they'll do well in your home also. So I'm going to try and keep these care videos shorter, so I'm just going to cover like probably 5 points, and then the rest of everything else will be in the blog post, because I always do a blog post, so if you're really interested you can go over and read about everything else. The link will be down below, and also in on our website, joyousgarden.com, under houseplants, or you can just go to the search bar and Google in Aglonema. And as I said, these plants are commonly called Chinese Evergreen, although Chinese Evergreen is the common name for a specific species of Aglonema, but they just get called that. Or when we were in the trade, we called them Ags. And they are generally sold as tabletop plants, but the larger varieties, you will, or the larger species, you'll see one coming up soon, because I have 3 Ags, are low, wide floor plants. But they have this really nice rounded form. And the real appeal of these, besides the foliage, is the fact that they do just fine in lower light conditions. So, sticking on to form, this is one that is a floor plant. It is my Silver Bay. It is a low but wide floor plant. I'll probably be dividing it next spring, so stay tuned for that. But I've also seen them besides underplantings and in individual planters. I've seen them in long, or individual containers. I've seen them in long planters. I've seen them in airports and malls and lobbies, really tough environments, and also in long planters, rows of them. But they're a very, shall we say, sturdy plant. And in terms of size, I've seen them sold in 4, 6, 8, 10-inch, and 14-inch. This one is actually a 10-inch plant. I'm going to plant it up to, actually I'll probably do 2 10. I'll probably divide it into 2 10s next year. But they range anywhere from about 10 inches tall to about 3+ feet tall. So I just want to show you how densely this Silver Bay grows. As you can see, it's in a 10-inch pot and not that big. But the plant itself is pretty darn wide and getting wider every week. All this gorgeous new growth. I'll just zoom in a little bit closer so you can see this gorgeous foliage. The growth rate for me here, I'm in Tucson, so it's warmer. I get nice natural light in my home, so the growth rate is probably moderate. This one has so much new growth on it, but in general they are considered to be slow to moderate growers, especially in lower light. They are definitely going to be a slower grower. A slower grower plant. A slower growing plant. So moving on to exposure, and this is a good example of getting a little too much sun. This is my Aglonema. I bought it as Maria, but it's also sold as Emerald Beauty And this one can handle low light just fine because of the darker leaves. But I had it in like 5 minutes of sun out here while I was setting up, and it's just a little bit on the droopy, feels a little bit on the droopy side. So it doesn't like any direct sun at all. But my Agalonema red, which you will soon see, and you saw in the intro, that one can handle more light because it has more color in it. But this is a great plant for low light. But in general, they are like low to medium light plants. Just keep them out of direct sun. And as I said, the more color in the leaves, like pink, I think pink is the only color that I've seen. Pink and red is the only color that I've seen them in. That means they will do better in a little more light. So here's a close-up on the Agalonema red, which I think also goes by red Siam Chinese Evergreen too. It has this beautiful pinky, it's more pink to me, it's not red, but it has more pink in it. And yes, these are flowers, which I will talk about in just a little bit. But now it's on to watering. I water mine when they get dry. That's it. And be mindful not to water it too often, especially if you have your plant in low light, because it is not going to be drying out as fast as if it is in medium light, or if the temperatures are cooler. Probably in the winter, I'm trying to remember how often I water my eggs in the winter. I probably water them every 2 to 3 weeks in the winter time. So on to humidity, because our homes tend to be on the drier side. And even though these plants are native to the tropics and the subtropics, they seem to do really well in homes. And as I said, they did fine in offices. So I don't think you need to worry too much about that. They can handle it. Like I am here in Tucson in the Arizona desert, and mine have hardly any brown tips on them. There are a few, well, there's just a couple of small brown tips. That's dryness. And I have taken off a few lower bottom leaves, but that is just the nature of the plant as it grows and it gets fuller on the top. The lower leaves tend to say bye-bye. Now, I know a lot of you are concerned about pets and toxicity to plants because you have pets, as I do. I've got 2 kitty cats, and they are toxic to cats and dogs, but I will leave the link to the ASPCA website, which tells you exactly what happens when they ingest them. My cats do not chew on plants, so I don't have to worry about them. I can have plants around, and they are just fine. But if you do, you might want to put it up a little higher if your pets tend to chew on plants. So flowers, oh yes, they do. The ones I've seen are either greenish or more on the ivory side. My Maria, and the one you just saw, has like ivory flowers. This one is greenish, and they tend to appear, for me anyway, more towards the summertime, late spring. And here they are. There's one here, there's one coming here, there's one here, there's one here, there's one here. I don't know if there's any more coming. I'm not going to look and see, but it is what is considered a spathe type of a flower. If you are familiar with the peace lily or spathiphyllum, it has the same kind of flower. And this is the spathe here, and this is a spadix. I'm not going to get too technical about it, but that's what it is, and it's a cute, sweet little flower. I leave them on because I like to look at them. I don't think they take that much energy out of the plant, but once they start to go, I do take them off of this one. Let's see. Yes, see, here's one that is going to be going soon. Hopefully you can see that has turned brown right there. Whereas these are all nice and white and fresh. Okay, I think this is a better close-up on the flower for you right there, just so you can see how pretty it is, and hopefully you can see that one. I'm filming myself, so that's the one that's going to be going soon. But they tend to stay, actually even after the spadix turns brownish, they still tend to stay green for a while. So as I said, I just leave them on. And here's a space flower on the very popular peace lily, or spathiphyllum. Well, it's a few days later and I was downloading the video and there was no outro, and I was like, I swore I filmed one. Anyway, that's why I'm in something different, and I have pool hair because I just got out of the pool. Anyway, I just wanted to tell you that the rest of the points, which include pruning, propagation, fertilizing, temperature, pests, soil, repotting, and things good to know, will be in the blog post. So head over to that link in the description box down below, and also on our website there's a search bar. You can just type it in there, or there's a houseplants category, and the website is joyousgarden.com. So I hope you have found this video about Aglaonema care to be helpful. It's a really beautiful, easy care houseplant, and I think you will enjoy it very much, especially the ease of care. And I have a lot more videos coming your way, so stay tuned for those. I thank you for all your likes and your subscribes. I really appreciate them. Now let's get into our indoor gardens and make our worlds a more beautiful place. As always, I thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.